As the midnight moon cast a ghostly glow over the sleepy town, I sat in the dimly lit living room of my quaint little house, nestled at the edge of the woods. The flickering light of the television provided a feeble attempt at comfort, but the eerie silence of the night had a way of making every creak and groan of the old house sound ominous. That's when I first heard it, a faint scratching at the window. Initially, I dismissed it as a tree branch, the wind playing its nightly tricks. But the scratching grew louder, more insistent. Curiosity overcame my unease, and I tiptoed to the window, peering into the darkness. Nothing but the shadows of the night greeted me. Returning to my chair, I tried to focus on the TV show, but a sense of unease settled over me. The scratching returned, this time accompanied by a soft, whimpering sound, like a wounded animal. My heart raced, and against my better judgment, I decided to investigate. As I unlocked the back door and stepped onto the porch, the cool night air sent a shiver down my spine. The garden was bathed in moonlight, casting long, twisted shadows. Then I saw it, a creature crouched in the corner of the garden, its body convulsing with each whimper. It was unlike anything I had ever seen. Humanoid but grotesquely misshapen, its skin a pallid, sickly color, eyes glowing faintly in the moonlight. I froze, my mind struggling to comprehend the macabre sight before me. The creature slowly raised its head, and our eyes met. There was a deep sadness in its gaze, a haunting despair that seemed almost human. I felt a pang of sympathy, but it was quickly replaced by terror as it began to move towards me, its movements jerky and unnatural. I stumbled backwards, fumbling for the door, but it wouldn't budge. In my panic, I had forgotten to unlock it. Turning around, I found myself face to face with the creature. Its breath was foul, and as it reached out towards me, I saw its fingers end in sharp, twisted claws. I screamed, my voice echoing into the night, but no one came to my aid. This was my fight alone. In a desperate move, I pushed against the creature, sending us both tumbling to the ground. It was stronger than it looked, its grip iron-like around my arms. Struggling beneath its weight, I managed to grab a rock from the garden and, with all my strength, hit it on the head. The creature let out a blood-curdling howl and released me. I scrambled to my feet, lunging for the door, finally managing to open it and hurl myself inside, locking it behind me. Panting and shaking, I leaned against the door, trying to process what had just happened. That's when I heard it. A soft, almost inaudible whimper coming from the living room. Cautiously, I made my way back, only to freeze in horror at the sight before me. There, on my living room floor, lay another creature, identical to the one outside. But this one was injured, its body covered in wounds. As I stood there, trembling, the creature outside began to bang against the door, its howls now filled with rage. But the creature inside looked up at me with those same sad eyes, and in a moment of chilling realization, I understood. They weren't trying to harm me. They were protecting me from each other. The creature inside was injured, perhaps by its own kin, and had come to me for refuge. And the other, maybe out of jealousy or rage, sought to harm it, and by extension, me. With a heavy heart, I approached the injured creature, its eyes following my every move. In those eyes, I saw fear, pain, and a plea for help. I knew then what I had to do. I gathered some old towels and water, tending to its wounds as best I could. All the while, the banging on the door continued, each thud a grim reminder of the danger just outside. Hours passed, and as the first light of dawn crept into the sky, the banging ceased. Peering through the window, I saw no sign of the other creature. It had vanished into the woods, perhaps never to return. The creature inside, though still weak, seemed to be recovering. As I sat there watching over it, a sense of kinship formed between us, a bond forged in the crucible of that terrifying night. But then, the creature did something I will never forget. It reached out, touching my hand with its clawed finger, and in that touch, I felt a surge of memories flood my mind. Memories that were not my own. Images of a life in the woods, of being hunted, of losing loved ones to fear. Then it disappeared into the tree line. It's been months since this happened, but I still hear a faint scratching at the window. But now I know I shouldn't come outside. Subscribe to this channel for more wicked stories.